YouTube, this is the best LOA-ON that this director ever did. So get ready to come back to the game. All the new players, return players, stay Giga shit. Overall, it was W. There were a lot of W moments with some L's in my opinion. So first of all, he mentioned the Korea economy problem. The following 9 things will be in the game for a long time or even permanent. So the first one is nerfing the guild from Akan 1600 to hard Act 1, which is 1680. Normal Act 3 is not getting nerfed. Let me show you an image. You just have to watch the last column because it shows how much it got nerfed on each raid and each gate. So Akan normal and single 1, 2, 3, Akan hard 1, 2, 3, Ivory Tower single and normal, hard Ivory, Thaemine single and normal, Thaemine hard 1, 2, 3, 4, Echidna single and normal 1, 2, Echidna hard, Behemoth 1, 2, Aegir normal 1, 2, Aegir hard, and lastly Act 2 normal 1, 2. There's a new farming system that will sync the guild in exchange of rewarding stuff. Random loot farming and can only be done from end content character, will not be tied to raids. It's something you can farm anytime. Will be added after Kazeros raid. The thing is, don't know exactly how the farming will lead to guild sync from his statement, so we have to check this later in detail. Next one is Guild Gacha Shop. Can do up to a certain amount and it's roster wide. Rewards are like guarantee quality increase ticket, selection legendary card, and the transmog from West, and legendary skins, etc. Event shop, rewards, footprints, random relic engraving box, okay. Card package, so remember the card package, they've been selling a lot of pay to win packages, right? It will not be pay to win, but rather they're gonna sell in the in-game for gold, that is W. Inter-server trade. You will be able to send mail with other server people as well. Trust system. If your trust is lower than certain amount, then the tax rate increases for the trade. This includes personal trade, auction house purchase, mail, bid, everything where the gold can be transferred to other account. Whenever you consume the gold to the server, like, honing, advanced honing, transcendence, all that thing, then your trust increases. But whenever you make a trade with someone, then your trust decreases. What if people RMT by trading item for real money? So these parts are something that can hit the people who are selling the gold for real money, right? What if it's item to real money? For that, they will automatically apply the highest price on that item. Also, they will limit on the trading, like auction house, adding to the mail, etc. So by doing this, clearly this is to hit the RMTers, right? RMTers are expected to get a huge hit. And some multi-account players who do infinite life skilling and sending the mat to the main account, they are gonna get some small hit from this part, limit on trading, I think. For this, there's still a lot of info that's needed. Like for example, if you buy something that requires Fion, like skin or accessory, then do you lose trust and the Fions both at the same time? Kinda KW, right? So we need further information for this later. Next one, Tier 3 gem production reduction. They are doing this to kill the bots and the multiple account players in KR. They said, we will even change our TOS to cover wider range to hit multiple account enjoyers. It will be reduced by around half on all Tier 3 contents, Chaos Dungeon, Cube, Weekly, Guild, Exchange, so on and so forth. They will remove the weekly Tier 3 gem exchange from Kayangel NPC. They will remove the party finder and the matchmaking system on Chaos Dungeon and Crucian Front. The weekly Una tokens will provide character-bound guild instead. Next, they will add Tier 4 material sync system by August. Too many characters are sitting on abundant amount of Tier 4 mats, which there's nowhere to use. So they will add something where you can use those mats for something else, which is unknown. Next topic, motivation to raise characters. Power test. This is a new content that any characters can enjoy if there's nothing to do. It has a ranking system and honor rewards. Next one, respecting pioneers. It's hard to translate this part. Basically, you can call these people as whale, or like, people who reaches the end content like faster than anyone. To respect these people, the first mode will always take place when a signature raid releases. They will add after ranking system where party can compete each other based on how fast they clear the raid. They will also add visual honor rewards that can be flexed to anyone. This one is better to show you guys image. This bard has something glowing on her class mark. Certain titles provide him this kind of, a unique effect that can be flexed to any other people. Next topic, new class. Female Pally was introduced and her name is Valkyrie. She uses Sacred Sword and Shield. And she also has a legit DPS build. The DPS build uses Justice and Starlight. Supporter build uses Protection and Starlight. So what are these things? Justice is using Normal Sword. Starlight is using Sacred Sword plus Light Ray. Protection is Sacred Shield, which will enhance the ally and apply debuff on the enemy. For the trailer, you can see the actual VOD in my description below. Next topic, raids in general. Splitting raid difficulties. You're gonna add A-Gear solo and nerf more on solo and normal mode. For example, like removing mechs. It's not gonna happen on hard mode, by the way. They will improve Party Finder. Even if it's not 8 people, you can fill up with AI players, so-called mercenaries, and just go. This is a huge W. This is a feature that was introduced in the mobile Lost Ark. If you checked my latest video, they are trying to add that. Next, raid intro removal. They're gonna remove all the mob killing intros for the raid. Like start of the Act 2, you have to kill a lot of mobs, right? All those things are gonna be gone. W. Removing time-wasting things. Some patterns which you can't hit the boss. For example, Twister from the Gate 2 mob in Act 3. And also like so many dodging parts in Gate 1 Thaemine, where you can't hit him, you just have to keep on dodging for a long time. And also, they're going to remove the cutscenes in the raid. They are gonna add Thaemine Extreme Mode. This is a non-normalized hell mode kind of thing. It's gonna stay for a 6-week event raid. Normal is 1690, hard is 1720. Thaemine was already really hard on release in KR, so they don't want to make it even harder than that. So even though it's called Extreme, they will make it easier than Extreme Voten. For example, Thaemine Extreme will not have any one-shot patterns. They will add a new raid system into this Thaemine Extreme mode called Guard Point. Every individuals have gauge system, and depending on the commitment, which I assume who does better DPS, then they will gain a lot of gauge. And if you have more gauge, then you do more DPS. And if your gauge reaches max, then your party will get the buff what you have as well. So TLDR, if there's a carry, then he can increase the party DPS faster. Reward is gonna have some unique footprint and some random relic boxes, etc. Next topic, Kazeros Raid, August 20th. Information. There are 2 raids, not 2 gates, 2 raids in total. First raid has 2 gates. Second raid also has 2 gates. First raid, Gate 1, full power Echidna is gonna come. Gate 2, the last abyssal being is gonna come who look like a Thar. You can check it out in the VOD. Normal mode 1700, hard mode 1720. The second raid, Gate 1, Kazeros himself comes out. And Gate 2 is not covered from the stream at all. He said it's gonna be unknownly hard. Raid 1 doesn't have the first mode. Raid 2 has the first mode. Normal mode is 1710, hard is 1730. Now something that's interesting is for this Raid 2, it will only have the first mode initially. And if any one party clears it, then the normal and hard mode opens to all other players on the next week. Reward for top 10. Titles that are animated, stronghold statue, banner that can give buff to the party that affects all 8 players. So this one, let me give you an image. The same image you see top here. So this unique banner appears to be that Kazeros top 10 banner, and because this bard has it, all other 8 people here in the party are getting benefited from a buff that this guy is giving. The director did say this is gonna be a diminishing amount of buff, and we don't even know what kind of buff it's gonna be. Like, is it gonna be an offense or defense? But even though it's gonna be diminishing, the idea of granting a title player being able to give a buff to the party, like, I don't know if this is a good system, but yeah. To me, this is one of the L part personally. I guess he, committed to add this since only 80 people in the whole server will be able to give this diminishing buff. Okay, and there's an exclusive reward for only top 1. Including all the rewards above, their characters will be illustrated into the Song of Return statue on all the cities, only during the race. Also, they're gonna send IRL Kazeros figure to their home. Next one is Arc Grid. This is the new Kazeros Raid Gold Sync system. So if you see here, the ones on the center is called Core, and the ones around the core is called Jewels. And it consists of 6 cores and jewels that can support the core. As you see here, there's like 6 places for the cores, and every course can have jewels. Core can be only obtained from Kazeros Raid, but jewels can be obtained from 1720 plus dailies as well. Cores have epic to ancient different grades, which is a random loot. What does these things do? Cores power up the skill and the tripod on that class. It can even change the playstyle based on what you pick. So if I show you an image, this, for example, on the left, it says if you add 10 point, then it increases the damage of all the red lens skill from Gunnesser. If you have 14 point, then you get something called Destiny, which can be stacked up to 5. And if you use any charge skill, then you consume the 5 stack and you do a lot of damage, it says. So it's something like that stick to the skill and the tripod. Jewels that surrounds the core, they provide stats like attack power, HP, and something called jewel cost. Jewel cost determines how many jewels you can put on each core. For example, if the jewel has low jewel cost, then it looks like you're not gonna be able to add a lot of jewels on each core. Does that make sense? The jewel cost can have negative figure based on RNG. As you see this image, you see this part? This part says -2. This core and the jewel system will significantly power creep even more than having 5 pieces of A gear set. You can even upgrade cores and jewels. This is where the gold sync happen. Basically, if you upgrade the core, then it's gonna increase the damage of those skills on the class. Does that make sense? And if you upgrade the jewels, it's gonna increase these stuff, AP, HP, and jewel cost. Up to relic grade, cores have pity system. So the max damage on that skill and tripod can be reached because it has pity system. But the ancient grade does not have pity system. So it's full RNG to min-max the skill and tripod damage on ancient. The director says these RNGs are intended for this system specifically to make players consistently consume gold, and which is why he said long-term gold sync. Next, New Guardian 1720. Disposal has a long tail and it's a water element. So you might need a Thunder Breath card set. Based on the trailer, he has a lot of airborne and knockdown, counter, just guard, filled AoE attacks, and etc. But the director says, whoa, chill. Don't be too overwhelmed. If you destroy his tail, then he will basically be a chill good boy. That's what he said. As a reward, Disposal can drop jewels from this system, and it will give significantly more amount of honing mats compared to any other Guardian raid. Cruise and Front is getting added 1720, Cube 1720, and beyond, I guess. Chaos Gate, same. Next one, Post Kazeros. Aldebaran's ocean will kick in. Aldebaran is a name of a god. I'm not sure the exact English name of him, but yeah. This is gonna be a horizontal content that is not a collection. The Arcadia map extends to the east side. If you see here, our Arcadia is from here to here, right? Cruising. But on the east side, there is something more extended. There's a lot of continent, and the one in the center is Sacria. Those bozos who say something like, "For the Regulus, we are the justice," kind of, stuff, OM. That's where the part 2 of the Lost Ark is gonna start, lore-wise. And it will start from Sacria. The keyword of the story will be God and Chaos, okay? Interesting. Other new contents. Paradise. It was covered from China, right? He didn't say, much of the things. It's a normalized solo content. There are 3 different kinds of dungeons, and you get buff on your character every time you clear the floor, and the rewards as well. Not much to say. Skin decks, also covered from China, can wear skins that you don't even have to check out how it looks. And also you can even die from the skin decks, and there's no limitation for saving skins. Alright, next one, quality of life changes. They will alleviate the honing. They will add Behemoth and Aegir mats on solo mode NPC, okay? From the Kazeros exchange NPC, you can exchange more Doom mats to Bro mats. This is W. Bro normal gives very small amount of the things, and also the bonus loot are expensive, right? I think the meta is gonna be you reach 680 on your ults, and all the mats from the Mordoom, I think you're pretty much gonna exchange it to Braille and focus on the karma. Cars to Wandering Merchants. Adding Weekend Kaku, Galator, Cien, Lewin, Lutera, Beatrice to Wandering Merchant, okay? The new gem system that you guys know. It's not gonna be roster bound. It only exists to flexibly change the build in that class. Like choosing any skills, choosing either DPS or cooldown gem that you want, and making it presettable. This is my personal comment. There's still Ability Stone and Bracelet that bites your ass when you want to change to the other build in that class, but okay, maybe they will change these later. Tripod removal. The default becomes level 5, but for PvP, it becomes level 1. You can exchange the existing amulets to NPC, but they didn't mention for what. Epic engraving will get removed. You will have to gather from legendary. They added party lounge system. Alright, as you see here, this is a party lobby. And on the left side, it will show something called lounge like this. It shows your level, name, class mark, titles like this, and your skins and posture, everything. You can change the background as well. The lobby will also display if the supporter is running support build or DPS build. This mark shows either if this guy's a DPS build or support build. That's poggers, right? Voting system. Basically, this is, when you do League of Legends, at the end, you can vote someone who you think he did the best, right? That system is getting added to Lost Ark. You can vote whom you think did the best OM. Self-DPS meter, in other words, the combat analysis, that's hard to pronounce, is getting added. Not just the skill proportion, it shows the rate of crit, back and head attack, supporters buff uptime, total DPS, DPS per minute, and how many times on each skill, etc. in timeline. You can even save the data and compare them. It's like this. And you can see there are 4 tabs. Number 1 says lifetime info. The second tab is the offense data. Unfortunately, he did not show any other tabs than this offense data. Here on the 3rd tab, it says buff uptime, the supporting info. And the 4th tab is timeline. Next one, power indicator. It will show a single number that reflects all the specs that character has, just like this part, the orange number. You can't tell how strong a certain character is, right? Just by watching the accessory, bracelet, gear, engraving, gem, everything. Now, some of you guys might think another gatekeep, L. What the director says, and I also agree on this, by the way, ironically, he's expecting people to get less gatekept because before this, till now, certain part gatekept people hard. I would say gem is the biggest problem. Someone comes in and the radiator immediately goes to the gem tab, and if he sees like level 7 or 6, like immediately decline. That's how it's like in KR. That will be alleviated. They will just see this number and accept him if it's high enough, right? Next part, convenience. You no longer harvest the soul from Guardian Raid. The reward comes in directly. Finally, bro. Next, you can ride transmog in other contents as well, as long as it's not indoors. For example, intro part of the raid, islands, chaos gate, etc. That is a huge W as well. Thank you, director. Next, daily Una tasks, that's hard to pronounce, tasks, become weekly. For the +1 tokens you have, you can exchange to an NPC for something he didn't mention. You can change and test the preset of the character's appearance in the in-game wherever you are. They did this because the preset from character selection and the in-game is different most of the time. So they are allowing you guys to actually test and change the preset in where you are in the in-game. Next, pet ability becomes united. All the pet ability will affect your whole roster. You do not have to keep on changing preset, go to stronghold, like, you know, oh, this bozo is ancient. Where's the 0.5% ancient? Oh, next bozo is like insect. Where is that? Like, no more. But there is a limitation from the image. As you see here, each of the 3 category, they have some limitation, but I think this is a lot enough, right? Oh, and if you use the blue crystal to expand pet ability preset, you will get full refunded. Next, cutscene skip. The leader can skip any cutscene by himself even though someone is not skipping. You can control F and search the items from any of your storage, and you can even bring groups of them at once. Next one. Class, stature, and posture coming by September. They will reduce the neck of Mage's War. They will make female martial artists don't look like a horny girl. For example, opening the bottom part wide. Okay, what does this even mean? Let's see. This is female martial artist combat stance, and I'm pretty sure depending on the skin that you wear, she shows the, you know, thing explicitly, right? Embarrassing. They're gonna change this weird combat posture to this. This is mage and her neck is awkwardly long, right? And this is after improve. I'm not sure if there's a big change, honestly, but I guess by turning the direction of the head closer to the center, it kind of looked like her neck is shorter, I think, right? They also added new hair. Some of these are coming with the Valkyrie release. Like this one is a default of a Valkyrie hair, and some of others will come by September, he says. Next one, summer events. The Mokoko Challenge Express is coming back. The box in the box rewards are up to 1700. It contains up to 200k character bound gold. I honestly think this is very L. The amount of the gold needed to reach 1700 is not a joke. Them giving 200k as a character bound is, I don't know. I feel like I honestly expected at least 500k. Next, can only be applied once upon personal info. This is interesting. In KR, with one personal info, we can make up to 5 accounts. The problem was, Express till now was once per account. So what happened is that multi-account players have been exploiting by applying 5 of the expresses on 5 accounts. He fixed it from now on to once per personal info. This express gives you 30 Light Salvation and the Lost Wincliffe card set at 1585. You can choose any elixir set at 40 if you reach 1600. Critical, 40. Master, 40. You can level the Transcendence to stage 5 on all armors if you reach 1610. You can level the Transcendence to a stage 5 on weapon at 1640. You will also get some Aegir mats if you reach 1660, so you're gonna start with some pieces of the Ancient. Alright, next one is the swimming skin that KR is getting. I would say this girl is kinda remarkable. Yeah, let's move on. Interesting, yeah. Last category, Q&A. This director, for the first time ever since he became a director, went for Q&A section. And there were a lot of Q&As, but I only covered in this memo some of them that I think you guys actually care or are interested in. Why did you revoke the change on new gem system? Answer. As a director, I thought the initial decision, which had 5.5% base attack power, was good for players. But now I think about it, it was my mistake. And I think I thought about the company side more than the players. Sorry for the mono class enjoyers initially, and also sorry for other people as well for revoking what I said. I was actually thinking so hard every day that is this the right change or is that the right change? And at the end, I revoked it since I thought that would be the correct answer. From next time, I will try to come up with a better solution from the start. For people who doesn't know, his revoke actually impacted Inven by a lot because what their logic was, if you easily revoke on what you said, then how do we trust you as a director? The economy is fluctuating based on what you say every day. So people were like concerned. Next question. Why did you make the business model BM on season 3 like that bad? Answer. Season 3 was absolute terrible misdesign which led to significant expense increase. The actual gold sink was not that low. It was pretty high. But the problem was so much amount of gold being RMT'd. Unlike season 2, the proportion of expected RMT was so high. It became one of the reasons that caused scuffed economy. That is why I came up with those restrictions like trust system to hit their ass. Not only that, selling highly efficient pay-to-win package from our side on a monthly basis was also a problem. This did not cause the gold inflation directly, but it did devalue the free-to-play effort of doing dailies. We will change the BM system friendlier to the players from now on. We think we need to add new business model, something like monthly pass. So, those things that exist in BDO and some of the gacha games. In the future, we will come up with idealistic BM depending on the situation that's player friendly. Okay, answer wise, I would say it's a good answer. Just the thing is, this part, monthly pass, it really depends on how expensive this is gonna be. Next question. Can you remove the 6-character weekly gold earning limit? Answer. I understand why this is keep being raised up. It's because every time a new class or express kicks in, people who are sitting on full 6 juiced roster doesn't benefit. We actually discussed a lot internally how to improve this system, but all the ideas had a room where people can exploit. If you, the players, you guys, if you have any good ideas, please let us know through Smilegate official website. So he's down to listen to your opinion, guys. Alright? Next question. You missed out on talking about supporters rework. In the part 1, he actually forgot this. And he talked about it on the Q&A. Answer. It's happening on upcoming week in KR, guys, with female Pally Valkyrie release. We will increase the DPS of the DPS build on all supporters drastically. We will make you benefit from leveling the skills after 10, like beyond level 10. We will decrease the difficulty of supporting gameplay. For example, we will let all the supporters able to have high brand uptime with only one brand skill. We will do a patch that alleviates the penalty of supporter dying. This one, he doesn't have a certain detail. We will make the 4th enlightenment node meaningful and fun. We will increase the max mana. We will improve some of supporters' engraving. For example, Awakening doesn't benefit from learning certain amount on relic grade. we will fix that. And also, drop of ether will guarantee to touch the DPS players. Lastly, the current Lost Ark raids are heavily dependent on supporters. We don't want this. Our future direction is to slow down the supporters' power gain compared to DPS. This part, I think, depending on if you're a support player or a DPS, some people might like it, some people might not. Question. You said you will do balance patch frequently, but you aren't. Answer. It's happening on upcoming week in KR. This patch will include supporters rework and rework on outdated classes. We tried our best to make the Kazeros race fair as possible. If it turns out that some classes are performing bad, then we will quickly hit another balance patch. The problem is he did not mention the exact timing for that. He just said after Kazeros. Next question. Do you know that your matchmake system is garbage? Answer. I'm aware of supporters taking forever to matchmake, then ends up getting 2 to 4 supporters. On the other hand, when DPS matchmakes, the queue get caught right away, but then ends up with 4 DPS. We will fix it so that you get 3 DPS and 1 support as top priority. This does not guarantee 3 and 1 balance, but will happen most of the time. If the supporter is running DPS build, then he will be regarded as DPS. This patch is happening on upcoming week as well. Okay, that's good. Last meaningful question. Can you leak the next class after Valkyrie? The answer to this is, he showed the silhouette of a figure that has a wing and axe. According to the director, this is Dragon Knight. And this is gonna be a completely new class that doesn't have root on other subclasses. Also, it is not gender locked. He said this is the first time that the game is trying something new. It is a stance change class like Glaivier and Deadeye Gunslinger in between dragon form and human form. Stay tuned for the winter LOA-ON. That is all for this video. Hope you guys like the VOD. Make sure to follow my Twitch and like the YouTube, subscribe. Thank you so much guys for watching this. See you guys on the next video. Stay GigaChid and let me know your thoughts. Spam noted.